Good afternoon, everyone. It's Mr. Montgomery again. Today we're going to be doing something pretty similar to yesterday, and it's kind of like doing fact families also. Remember how in fact families we could take the same numbers and rearrange them? What we're doing today is kind of like that. So when we did fact families, we could write stuff like 2 plus 3 equals 5. And we could even write 3 plus 2 equals 5. But if we wanted to go a little crazy and go outside of fact families, what are some other ways we can make 5? We could say 0 plus 5 equals 5, and we could even say that 4 plus 1 equals 5, right? There's all these different ways to make 5. Well, what we're doing today is just like that, except we're doing it with bigger numbers. So let's get rid of this and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. The only difference is we're going to be really focusing on using tens and ones to do this. So let's start off with an easy number, like the number 11. 11's easy. We have one 10 and one 1. So if we wanted to write a number sentence using ones and tens, we could, draw a quick little picture to help us out. All right, I have a 10 rod and a ones cube. And to write a addition sentence with this, I could just put 10 plus 1 equals 11. But there's also another way we could write this. What if we took this 10 rod right here and we broke it all into ones. We just took the whole thing, we went crazy, and we broke it into a whole bunch of ones. Well, then we would have 0 tens plus 11 ones. And that would also equal 11. So that's exactly what we're doing today. But we're going to practice doing this with some bigger numbers. And you'll see a little pattern happening as we go through it. So if you're a little nervous about it, don't be, because it will be not so bad. I promise. There's going to be a little pattern that we're going to see, just like we see in a lot of things, and you'll get the hang of it. No worries. So let's pick a slightly bigger number, like let's pick 22. And let's draw a picture to help us out. I'm just going to draw just a really quick 10 rod. Really quick 10 rod there, and then 2 ones cubes. All right. Now, how many tens do we have to make a number sentence out of this? Well, we have 2 tens, but we need to find out the big number that they make, right? So 2 tens we know makes 20, and we can check by counting by tens. 10, 20. So we could make this our 10 spot right here. So we can write 20 plus, how many ones do we have? Well, we can check. We have 1, 2 ones cubes. So it's 20 plus 2. And that equals 22. But there's another way we could write this. What if we went crazy with these blocks, right? And we wanted to write 22 or make 22 in a different way. We could do that by having one 10 rod, okay, and then 12 cubes, because we took that one 10 rod and we broke it into pieces. Now I'm going to draw 10 ones cubes. Well, really 12, because plus a 2. But I'm adding 10. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I made 12 ones cubes. So let's try to write a sentence with this. We have 1 10. So for our little 10 spot over here, what big number would it make? Well, it would just make 10, and we can double check by counting by tens. Ready? 10. And we stop because we have no more tens rods to count. And then how many ones cubes? Well, we can count them one at a time to double check our work, but there should be 12. So let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then 10 plus 12 equals 22. That's just another way we could do it. Or we could go even crazier and then break up this other 10 rod into a whole bunch of ones. If we did that, well, man, we would have so many. Let me draw 10 more. 4 right there, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. But let me get rid of that 10 rod right there. Okay. Now, how many 10s do we have? Well, we have 0, so we could put 0 plus how many ones? 22. And 0 plus 22 is 22. So if you notice a little pattern, we just keep adding 10 to this side of the plus sign each time. So first we just have the ones. Next we take away 10 from this side and put it over here. And then we took another 10 away and put it over with the ones again. But either way, they all make the same number. They all make the same total. So let's do this with an even bigger number now. Let's do it with, let's say, 54. Is we're going to write down how many tens we have. Well, we can also make a quick little picture, some quick tens rods, and we're going to need 5 of them because in our tens place here we have 5. And then we can even count by tens to double check what to put in. So 5, 10, let's count by 5s. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So we have 50. And then how many ones do we have? Well, we have 4, and we can draw those out too. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 50 plus 4, we know gives us 54. But what's another way we can write this? Well, we can take one of these 10s and break it apart and put it over here. So let me get a different color. Gonna cross that out, and we can break this into 10 ones, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So if we took 10 and brought it over here, how many 10s do we still have? Well, we have 10, 20, 30, 40. So we can write 40. And if you put 10 over with the 4, we have 14. We have 14 ones all over here. And you can even count them to double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we just got the double checker work and we're all good. And since we didn't really change any values around, right, we still have 54. We took the same number of cubes that we always had and we just put them in different spaces. That's all we're doing. So what if we took another 10 out and put over here and broke it into ones? How many 10s do we have now? Well, we can count them. 10, 20, and 30. So we can write 30. You guys seeing the pattern already? Just taking a 10 away from this side and putting it over here. That's how we got 40. And then we took another 10 away, put it over there. That's how we have 30 now. So if this side keeps going up by 10, so it went from 4 to 14 to, what do you think this one's going to be? It's going to be, well, 10 more, which is 24. You could even look at your 100 chart, and you could see that pattern on the 100 chart too. And that still gives us the number 54. And if you really want to, you can of course draw 10 more ones cubes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll squeeze one right there. 10. Now if we take another 10 away, cross it out right there, how many 10s do we have left? 10, 20. So we can write 20. Now if we took 10 away from here and put it over here, what number are we going to have now? Well, it's going to be, so it goes from 4 to 14 to 24 to 34. And that number, these two numbers still total 54. And we can even double check this work. Say you're looking at this and you go, Mr. Montgomery, I don't know if these two numbers still make 54. Well, I'm going to show you something. Let's take this first number, which is 20, and I like to write it top to bottom. So we have 20, and here's our tens column, right? This will always be tens, and this will always be ones. And then we can write our second number. The 3 has to go in the tens column, and the 4 has to go in the ones column. And now we can add these guys together. Now what is 4 plus 0? Well, 4 plus 0 is easy. That's just 4. And now we can add 2 plus 3. And 2 plus 3 is 5. And we still got 54. All right? So no worries. Now, let's keep going with this. And we're going to take away another 10 from here and bring it on over to the ones. And break it all into ones. How many 10s do we have left? Well, let's count them. 10. Oh, we have 110, which is 10. And if we took a 10 away and brought it over here, well, let's just look at our pattern. So we went from 4 to 14 to 24 to 34 to, well, we're going to have 44. And 10 plus 44 will still give us 54. So you guys see how it's just, this whole side is increasing by 10 every time. And then the side where the 50 started just decreases by 10 as it goes down. That's all. Because 110 is going over here and getting broken up into ones. That's all it is. Okay, now open up to the inside of your work mat. Seconds to open up to the inside of your work mats. Now it's going to look different, but I want you to ignore what they did with this 23. Okay, all they did was put it on the other side, but nothing's going to change because I'm going to tell you right now why. Because this side is still going to be tens, and this side is still going to be ones. Okay? So don't worry. We're still going to focus on where the 20 is. That's going to keep getting smaller by 10. And then this, where the 3 is, that's going to keep getting bigger by 10. That's all you have to worry about. I promise. Don't worry about whether the 23 is over here or if it's over here. If you want, if it makes it any easier for you, you can just put a big X through this 23 on that side and put equals 23 on the other side. It's the same thing. It just looks goofy. That's all. And you can actually do that for all of them. And why don't we do that? Because we don't need that confusing us, having it look different. There we go. Okay. So let's look at what we're doing here. They kind of did us a little bit of a favor and drew the tens rods and the ones cubes for us. So it says use the cubes to count the tens and the ones. Show two other ways to make the number. We got this, guys. We just did a huge number. We did number 54. Right now, we're just doing the number 23. We got this. Now, how many tens do we have? Or what big number do they make? We could count them. Ready? 10, 20. So that's where they got this 20 from. All right. And how many ones cubes do we have? 1, 2, 3. And now we know where this 3 came from. But now let's go into that pattern we were making before. And we're going to find another way to make 23. So we could look at this and say, you know what? We're going to take this 10 out and we're going to bring it over here and break it into pieces, which means I'm going to have 10 more ones cubes. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now how many ones cubes do I have? Well, I have 10 and 3 more, which is 13. So that's where they got this 13 from, right here. So all of our ones cubes make 13. And how many do our 10 rods make? What's the total for our 10 rods? Well, we can go ahead and count by tens. Ready? 10. And we stop because we have no more because we broke this other one into pieces. And that's where this 10 came from. And you can already see the pattern happening where 10 broke off over here into pieces. And we just have 10 left. So it's 10 plus 13 still equals 23. But what if we took that 10 away? We could say, you know what? This 10's going away, and it's going to go right over here and get broken up into ones also. And we can go ahead and draw 10 more ones. You can go ahead and do this also if you like. If not, that's okay too. And now how many 10s are left over here? Well, we have 0 because we broke them all into pieces. So now this number sentence is going to say 0 plus how many ones? 23. All right, see how this first side kept going down by tens? It went from 20 to 10 to 0. And then this other side kept getting bigger. It went from 3 to 13 to 23. All right, now I would really like for you all to try number 2 on your own. I'll give you a minute to write all these number sentences down. Show me how to make 34 in different ways. And if you need to, just because I know this looks weird, you could just put an X through the 34 and just put it on the other side. Equals 34. It's perfectly fine to do that because it means the same thing. Everything in math says it's okay. It means the same thing. So you can do that if it makes it less confusing looking for you, or you can leave it as it was, okay? So I'll give you guys a minute. Go ahead and give me 3 ways to make 34 the way we practiced. Alright guys, I think that should have been enough time right there. Let's start reviewing this problem together, okay? So the first way we can make 34 is by first counting the tens, right? So 10, 20, and 30. So we say 30 plus, well, how many ones do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 ones. So 30 plus 4 equals 34. Or we could, for our next one, we could say, you know what, let's get rid of this 10 rod, and we're going to bring it over here and break it up into ones. And then we can make 10 ones, right? It's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect. We all know how many are there. So how many 10 rods do we have now? We have 10, 20. So we have a total of 20 for our tens. And then how many ones do we have? We have 10 more, so we have 14. Now, if you know the little pattern that we just figured out, you might already know the next one, which is fine. Or if you like to keep using the picture, that's okay too. We can get rid of this 10 rod and break it up into ones and put it over here. Let's make 10 more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So now we can count by tens on this side and just say 10. We stop. So for this side of the plus sign, we're going to have just 10. And how many ones do we have? Well, we have 24. And the great thing about making the picture is that you can double check your work. If you're not sure if you did it right, you can go back and double check and count every single ones cube, okay? Now I would like for you all to go on to the next page, do the rest of the packet by yourself, and if you are confused, you can sit on the carpet with the rest of the class that I'm teaching. If not, go ahead on your own. Um, and if you guys get done a little early, I will have an extra worksheet on the white table for you in the back of the room. And then if you get done that, you can work on a 100 chart, you can work on a 100 chart puzzle, or a math facts coloring sheet. All right? So I'll talk to you all soon.